sister-in-law, Candace, and she does my hair. And she would tell me all the time, like, hey, you should go out with my brother-in-law. And I would say, yeah, that would be great, maybe one day, because I was dating somebody at the time. And
I went to call her to ask her out, and she never answered, so I left a message. She never called me back, so I just forget it.
Sage doesn't have an Instagram or a Facebook, and so that was really weird to me. So I didn't really know what he looked like. And so when he called me, I did not answer the phone.
And then it was probably like, I don't know, 2 weeks to a month after that, a bunch of my buddies decided to do a group date, and one of my buddies actually took her. So it really wasn't awkward for me, maybe for her, I'm sure, but.
When Sage came into the restaurant, my friend Erica nudged me and was like, hey, that's him. And I said, why didn't you tell me he was so cute? So we kind of talked a little bit that night, but nothing crazy because we were both on separate dates.
Later, after the date, like late, early morning, she texts me and says that she wants to hang out.
Like I said before, life keeps moving on. I'll give you all my love, but it sure won't be enough for you to make it through.
The first day I took her to a Lady Antebellum concert.
We used to kind of voice talk over our phones, and so he asked me what I was doing on Valentine's Day over that, and I was like, who is this guy to take me out on Valentine's Day? That's kind of a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. And he ended up asking me if I liked Lady Antebellum, and I loved them. And so we ended up going to Lady Antebellum for our first date, but like I said, we had hung out a couple times, so we were pretty comfortable with each other. It wasn't like the awkward first date, which was good because it was a long date. We were at the concert and singing and having fun, so and it was an impressive date because Sage got us tickets right up next to the stage, so we got to see Lady Antebellum like I could touch them, so it was an awesome first date.
First kiss, she was house sitting, so I went over there and it was her and her friend and me, and then we went downstairs, watched a movie, talked for probably 2 hours.
He was leaving and I walked him out and we got to the front porch or whatever, and I was like, oh, I hate these front porch scenes, so I'll just walk him to his car. So we go to his car, and he's really quite tall, and so I reached up like this to give him a hug. And
she's a little bit short for me, so I picked her up and we kissed. I kissed her.
I really liked the kiss because he was so tall that it was just kind of fun and different to him being up that high. He actually kind of lifted me up because I'm a shorty, so that was our first kiss.
But life keeps moving on. I'll give you all my love, but it sure won't be enough for you to make it through if you.
I was getting really anxious about getting married to Sage, and we had been picking out rings and stuff, and on Christmas morning, we were driving after all the chaos of everything, and he leans over to me and he says, dear, when are we getting married? I said, oh, well, whenever you decide that you're gonna get me a ring. And he said, don't worry about it, it's being ordered right now, it's being made. And my heart dropped and I got nervous and excited all at the same time.
Our first date was actually on Valentine's Day, so it's kind of like anniversary, but she was a little bit ornery that day with me because I hadn't really planned anything, and I told her I wasn't going to do anything.
So Valentine's Day came and he didn't say anything to me about going to dinner or doing anything for our anniversary, and so I thought there's no way he's going to propose tonight. so we were supposed to have dinner with my parents, and he ended up being late. So I was so mad, and he missed dinner completely. And he called me and he said, "Dear, I have a surprise for you, and I need you to meet me down at the river." And I said, "No, not happening. You can bring whatever you have to bring me to my house." And he was like, "Well, I'm just leaving Walmart." And so I was like, "All right, it's flowers."
So she got down there and I met her at her car and then walked her down. We had to walk under this little tunnel thing, and once we came out of the tunnel, it was right there, and I put the ring box in the middle of it.
And I immediately just got super nervous and so excited, and so we walked closer, and there was a ring box down in the middle of the circle, and he told me to reach down and pick it up. I told him no, because I thought I was going to have to get my own ring out. And so he leaned down and he picked up the box and gave it to me, and I opened it, and I was looking to see where the ring was from, seeing what brand or what store it had come from, because then I knew what my ring was going to look like. And there was no ring in it, and I looked up and he was down on his knee and just kind of did his spill and told me how much he loved me and he wanted to marry me.
And she was surprised. Favorite date? Me, my little brother, and my cousin decided one day that when we were living down here, that we were going to go shooting. So I asked her if she wanted to go, and she said yeah. So we went out there, shot for a couple hours, and just had a good time.
I have a lot of favorite memories with Sage, but I think that my favorite memories were actually when Sage moved down to Salt Lake. Probably one of my favorite things to do with Sage was, Sage lived with his brother and his cousin had an awesome motorcycle. And we would get on the back of that motorcycle and go to dinner and just kind of zip around Salt Lake and go and look at fun houses and things. Probably one of our favorite nights was when we went to dinner, and then we just went up into the avenues and kind of looked around, and we looked at different houses, and we kind of talked about what fun it would be one day to build a cool house and what we would like and what we wouldn't like. And it's just, we've had a lot of fun up here in Salt Lake, and when Sage moved back to Ogden, a little piece of us died, and we hope to maybe get back here one day, but we'll see where life takes us.
Things I love about Kaitlyn is that she's always so willing to drop whatever she's doing to help me or help her family or my family.
What I love about Sage, oh, so many things. Sage is, he's really laid back, like to the point where sometimes I have to tell myself, like, it's okay that he's this laid back, but he balances me out so incredibly well, and he's always there to tell me when things are a huge, big deal for me that they're just really small and we'll get over it and it's not a big deal.
She's just always there for me when I need her.
Sage is also the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. He and his brothers recently started a new construction company, and he works from sun up to sundown. He also is so funny and has a way of lighting up a room wherever he goes. And I also love how Sage loves me, and he always tells me how pretty I am and how smart I am, and he's always there to be the first person to let me know that things are going to get better, things are going to be easier, and he just has a way of making life fun and exciting.
Where you stand.